not a writer.
Okay.
If I find my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Or don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Or don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Or don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Or don't you still amaze me? If I find my way home, yeah. If I find my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Or don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Or don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Or don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Or don't you still amaze me? If I find my way home, yeah.
This is the moment for those who.
What we do here is go back.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
I
What's going on, guys? Happy Friday. We made it through a week. Should be happy about that. I'm happy about that. It's been a tough week, man. Work-wise and all that good stuff. And it's been a bachelor weekend, so I've had to fend for myself. Who does that, right? So, welcome to the Child of Mecha live stream. I am Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha. And if this is your first time viewing or maybe watching after, finding me for the first time, I make videos, live streams, and stuff to help you increase your skill set in Gunpla and Mecha modeling. So, you should probably consider subscribing, following, liking, all that good stuff. So today, what we're going to do, I got a little work done on the Jesta arm I want to show you guys, and then I think what I might do is transition back to the waist. Oh, Gamerbud, thank you for the subscribe on YouTube. Appreciate that. I thought you had already subscribed, though. That was weird, right? All good. Better late than never, right? So like I said, I think we're going to transition back over to the waist and work on that a little bit tonight, and you know, just kind of see where everything takes us. Cleaned up the magazines for the rifle and everything. Those look really nice, and so yeah, so we're gonna get some work done. We're gonna have a good time doing it. First and foremost, obviously, rocking the '90s era Gundam logo. This is the Washington color, by the way, if you can't tell. For those of you outside the States, I've based these color combinations on popular sports teams here in the U.S., and this is based on the color combination of the Washington Redskins, a pro American football team. So, very cool colors. Man, I love the design. It's very simple, all that. We got hats, too, so if you guys were alive in the 90s and you rock those starter caps and those starter jackets, man, these are going to feel right at home. So right here, you can get it on the Child of Mecha store, childofmecha.com. Hit up the store link and you'll be transported to Magical Merch Land. So good times there. If you're on Facebook or you're on YouTube, you're going to see a little bit of Amazon link just below in the description, a little bit later on Twitch after the stream. That's going to take you to a page that I have curated with all the tools and books and all sorts of stuff that I use and gain inspiration from. Sourced all those out for you guys already, so there's no having to hunt and look and maybe purchase the wrong thing. So definitely take a look at that. There's some good stuff in there. We've covered a lot of books in those in that inspiration section. We're going to cover another good one for tonight. This one is perfect for beginners. It is just absolutely the best book for beginners. I know a lot of the books that we've taken a look at so far, obviously inspirational, but this one, really, really good for those of you just starting out and trying to hone your basic skill set and maybe moving into the customization field as well. So we're going to take a look at this here in a second. Also, Chisel Discipline, hashtag that. So I can't wait to get that. Can't wait to get that t-shirt. It's going to be awesome. I want to see how it looks. And like I said, if it looks cool, I'll make it available. So that'll be fun. I really like that graphic, by the way. Also, too, Gunpla Talk, my boys. I saw Jim Gunpla Fixation in there on the chat. We are running a donation fundraiser and giveaway for the National Alopecia Areata Foundation. Sorry, mouthful. And so basically all donors, no matter how much you give, you get entered to win this big boy, right? Astray. Gundam Astray. Perfect grade. Anywhere in the world, except unfortunately for Singapore. You guys, there's a limitation through GoFundMe, and I don't understand why, but sorry, we'll get you next time maybe. But hey, go and donate some money. All of that goes to the Arietta Found or the National Alopecia Areata Foundation. Wow, that is a mouthful, guys. It's just a good cause. It'll make you feel good, and you might even win a few $100 model at the same time. You know, so two birds, one stone. Go hit it up. Do it right now. Just go. Well, maybe not right now. After the stream, though. All right, so let's switch gears. We're going to get you into... Come on, man. My remote is not working. Oh, well. Have to do it old school. We're going to get you into camera 2. There we go. Whoa, that zoomed in a little bit too far for you. So here's the book that we are going to talk about tonight, everybody. This is by my good friends, the Mono Eye Press, Derek Slew and those guys up in Vancouver in Canada, part of the Vanpla Facebook group. So if you are up that way, man, check them out. And so this is the book that we're going to be covering tonight. This is all basically a homegrown book. Derek and a few of the other guys up there, we've had them on Gunpla Talk talking about this very book. And man, they have put blood, sweat, and tears into this thing. This is a very, very quality book. You can get it on Amazon. So really, really easy to get. And man, this covers everything in terms of basics that you would want to know. And it's not, it's not a big book, thankfully. So you can really kind of go through this and sink your teeth into it. It's not a ton of information to try and consume in one sitting, right? So, but this is the perfect book for beginners. So let's go through this here real quick. Very simple back cover. Just a picture of that Zaku from Gundam Seed. I forget what they called it. Zaku, maybe. Shit, I don't know. Trying to block out the memory of Seed. So let's go through this here real quick. So what I really love about this particular book is that they start off with an introduction, and they start off with basically giving the history of Gunpla, the history of models, the Gundam models and things. And they've done their homework, guys. They've put a ton of work into this. And, they go through explaining the kit grades. They explain the instruction symbols and everything. Obviously now, more and more of the modern models are coming in English, thankfully. But for those older models that don't have English in the instructions, this is perfect. I mean, because this just lays it right out for you. Every single little symbol, what it means, the whole nine. And then it gets into, deep Gunpla history, pre-Gundam era, all sorts of stuff. You've got your classic, man, I forget what that, Getter Robo or something, I think that was called. I forget. But, yeah, man, this, they've done such a great job. This is a long-ish read, but man, it is informative. It's great. So very, very highly recommended. Even if it was just this, it would be worth the price. But no, you get so much more, guys. The history is going on for, probably a good 10 pages. So they've done a ton of work. Then they get into tools. You recognize that? That's what I'm talking about. Good old Olfa knife. And, they get into nippers and cutting mats and the basic stuff that, any beginning modeler would really need, right? So, great stuff. Gets into adhesives, sticky tack, which is very helpful in certain situations. Cyanoacrylate or super glue, CA glue as it's commonly referred to in modeling circles. Markers, all that good stuff. They tell you kind of what especially for those of you that use Gundam markers, which I don't recommend at all in any way, shape, or form. They just handicap you. But if you do, that's fine. They will explain what each kind does, because obviously there are different kinds of markers, right? There's the regular, there's the weathering set, and then there's the real touch. So they kind of go through that. Then they go into paints, and they actually explain the different types of paints. So water-based, like true water-based. Oh, look at that. Kang Huang. Huh? I think I'm saying Huang? 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 I don't know. Thank you for the subscribe on YouTube. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. I'm terrible at pronunciations. But thank you and welcome to the family. We really appreciate you joining us. But they get into, water-based acrylics, alcohol-based acrylics, enamel paints, lacquer-based paints, or solvent-based paints. Really, that's kind of what they are. They get into comparisons. They get into all sorts of stuff. They give you pros and cons of each, which is just super helpful. Top coat finishes, clearing nubs, how to, just even basic stuff like how to find parts on the runners. Because if you're just starting out, if you're a first-time builder, I mean, it's probably going to be a little confusing. I know when I first started out, it was a little confusing for me. But once you get it, it's easy. But for that first-time builder, getting over that hurdle, it can be tough. So they get into even simple things like that, pre-building techniques, cleaning your parts, all sorts of stuff. And what I really like is they take you through these steps by actually building a model. So in this particular set of tutorials, they're building a 1144 high-grade Gundam Exia, right? That's their test bed for this grouping of tutorials, which is really, really nice because it's consistent, so it's really good. Seam line removal, turning a panel line into a seam line into a panel line. How would you do the other way around? I don't know. But anyway, I misspoke. Panel lining, just really, simplistic type things that any beginner, or hell, even any pro or pro-ish. I don't like that term pro. It just seems weird, right? I don't know. I don't consider myself a pro, right? I don't get paid for this shit. So then they move on to, Phantom Blaze Zaku. That's what that damn thing is called. Okay, cool. They get into, some more moderate, techniques, model kit planning and sanding. What happens when you make mistakes, puttying, and all that good stuff. This is the super book for beginners, right? They even get into simple modifications like sharpening the V-fin or making these little notches here. It's hard to see on camera, I know, but making these little notches in the vents and stuff like that. Making bullet holes, that's simple kind of battle damage that a beginner might want to try and tackle, right? Just really, really good. Spray can, the actual act of painting they go through. They tell you that, this is really cool right here, the spray can anatomy, right? They tell you kind of how it breaks down. So liquid gas propellant, binder, pigment, they tell you that a ball bearing is in there just to shake shake everything up and all that, right? So this is a really, really good basic book. They do get into some customization, but nothing daunting, right? So this is the perfect book for a beginner or somebody that just wants to kind of refresh their skill set, right? So, and this is not an expensive book. I think this was maybe like $15-20 on Amazon, so well worth the money, especially if you're a beginner or kind of a moderate level builder. This is definitely the book for you. This is a hidden gem on Amazon, and the fact that it's homegrown from actual builders who are, you know, pretty prominent, at least within their particular Facebook group and the community up in Canada. Man, it just makes it so much better. You know, it's kind of one of those feel good types of things that just kind of, man, it just warms your heart, you know? So if you're into something like this, man, go pick it up on Amazon. Hit up that little Amazon link below in the description. You'll find it in the books section on my page there, and pick it up. So good stuff. Mono Eye Press. Shout out to those guys, Derek Slew, and all those guys up in Vampla. It's a good group, so check them out. So we're going to put this off to the side. We're going to, again, transition, and let's show you the arms, the other arm that we did. Let's get you zoomed in. But you know what? Actually, before we do this, let's get caught up with the chat. I almost missed you guys there. Let's see what's going on. Let's start off with Facebook, shall we? Restream put out a new Facebook API. Restream is the software that I use for multi-streaming, right? Most of you don't care about that, but they put out a new API today for Facebook. Super glitchy, super buggy, doesn't even work very well, so we're going old school with it. Let's check in with them. Roberto Lopez says, hello, Child of Mecha. Hello, Roberto. Thank you for watching, buddy. I appreciate that. And then someone else said, hi, Tim. Good morning from Malaysia. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining. Your name is something that I cannot read, unfortunately, so I apologize. I would address you by name if I could, but thank you for watching. We really appreciate you. Welcome to the family. Who's over here in Twitch and YouTube land? Let's take a look. I think it's kind of the usual suspects, you know. Let's see what we've got here. Gamerbud's in there. Jimmy Gumbo Fixation. Bailey's with us. Captain Weirdbeard is checking in from Twitch. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Andrew Young. Welcome, Andrew. Thanks for watching. Let's see. Who else? Biggie Pauls. Thank you for watching, Paulie. Appreciate it. For those of you who don't know, Paulie's a great person, support character up there at my favorite shop, the Gundam Kitchen up in beautiful Blackwood, New Jersey. We make we do some classes up there, me and Justin from Justinius Builds, and we have a really good time. And Paulie is a super helpful person behind the scenes. He kind of makes the things run up there when we do all those things. So shout out to Paulie. Thank you for watching, brother. Appreciate it. Let's see. Ariel Cubs fan 95. Welcome. Thank you for watching. Appreciate that. Oh, a real Ariel. No, a real Cubs fan. Duh. Sorry. My pronunciation issues. Let's see, Legendary Collector checking in on YouTube. Oh, and look, guys, my wife is on YouTube. She says, evening. So everybody on YouTube right now, say hi to Lynn Harkins. That's my wife. She's watching. They are in sunny, hot, sticky, nasty Myrtle Beach, South Carolina right now. And like I said, I've got a little bachelor weekend here that I'm just kind of chilling by myself. Missing you guys, by the way, so that's for them. But yeah, say hi to Lynn Harkins, everybody. She's my wife. She's awesome. She's the best. She is definitely my better side. So, but what are you guys talking about? Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Almost considering gluing. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, they come off real easy. I was like, so Gamerbud is snapping and putting together his high-grade Ifrit Schneid. And he's having an issue with those little bitty knives, you know. You know, needs to kind of tighten up the connections and everything, and people are obviously giving suggestions: nail polish, future pledge, floor polish, CA glue, all that good stuff. It's they're all good, really good suggestions for tightening up those little connector pieces, so definitely good. Nice. Paulie says chisel discipline. Yes. Hashtag it. Let's see. Goblet fixation. Oh my God, he forgot to donate. Putting my money where his mouth is and donating now. Thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate that, brother. That goes to a good cause too, you know. So we've all got to donate to the Gumpless Hawk, you know, fundraiser and everything. Very, very cool. Everybody's saying hi. Everybody's saying hi. Wifey of Mecha. That's a good one. I like that. I like that. So thank you guys. Appreciate that. What's going on? Let's see. Okay, cool. Okay, good. So our friend over on Facebook from Malaysia, he helped me out with the name. Yong Kong Lu. God, I hope I'm saying that right. If not, I apologize. But he's also QSing Style on Twitch. So I know you have subbed and all that. So thank you, man. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. We really appreciate that. So good to see you on the chat there on Facebook. Awesome. Cool. All right. So we are officially caught up on the chat. Let's switch gears. Let's go over and let me show you kind of what I did on these arms. Now, I forget who said it on Wednesday, but we were working on this arm, and somebody had asked if we were going to where's my little pointer here? If we were going to replicate this kind of side armor detail on this piece, and at first I said no, because there just isn't enough room to kind of make it happen, right? Because this top part separates from this, you know, this side armor part. But the more I thought about it after the stream, I'm like, wow, you know, this is really simple looking. It's maybe even too simple looking, you know, in terms of comparison to the rest of it, right? So what I did, we'll put this one off to the side. What I did was doubled up on some 1/2 millimeter strip right here. So you can kind of see there's a shorter strip on top, and then it's, let's get the shadow going there. And then it steps down to another 1/2 millimeter strip. And what happens is obviously that follows the contours of this piece. This angle right here, a good 45 degrees, same as this. This angle back here, 70 degrees, same as that. So that actually follows those contours really, really nicely. So the problem that I ran into, though, is how do I semi-replicate that, right? Because it's difficult. So what I did was put these two pieces in there on both sides on this top part, and I'll take it apart here in a second, and I'll show you kind of how it goes together. But I cut a small strip, same width as this one right here, beveled it the whole 9, positioned it in the same exact place as here, so it does kind of give that hint of you know, symmetry. But this is how it connects. Let's see if we can pull this off here. Come on, you. There we go. All right. So you can kind of see how it just comes apart like that, right? Real simple. So these are glued obviously to these sides here, and then this is, these pieces are butt up right at the bottom of this particular piece. So once it's together, it looks like one kind of armored unit, if you will, on the side there. What I also did was I kind of put these two straps right up here at the top, just to show, you know, give a little reinforcement look, because I can imagine if you bump this into something and these magazines go flying, it could end up being a pretty bad day for that particular pilot. He may get yelled at by his CO, or somebody like that, right? And then also what we did was just put a little bit of reinforcement right there and scribe some panel lines around it, kind of an outline scribe, but then extended that top and bottom, front and back on both here. So, and then obviously we got the two little latch pieces there, and then fully mimicked the scribing from the first one. Obviously, still have to work on this little piece here, but that'll be off stream because obviously you guys don't want to see me duplicating parts and stuff. That we've already covered that, right? We don't want to rehash old stuff. So that's looking pretty good there. Also cleaned up these, like I said, the magazines and everything, and these were tedious because you know, the seam line runs right down the back and obviously the front too. And then once you sand these down, let's get you super zoomed in here so you can kind of see what we're talking about here. Where's the super zoom? There it is. All right, so we'll put two of these off to the side, and we'll get this one in here. So I had to rescribe all these lines, right? So all the way down, even the curves around here, those were a little tough, right? Because we had to, you know, obviously curve the chisel around that rounded corner, and then down here, you know, you've just got a 0.3 millimeter right up here. This is actually the bottom of the magazine, so this is a 0.3 millimeter, and then the panel lines here, this is 0.2 millimeter, so a little larger than, you know, your normal panel line, which is usually 0.15, or at least that's what I use. So I think these all came out really quite nicely, nice and smooth, all that good stuff. So let's get out of super zoom, get rid of the box, switch back over to things, and boom, there we go. So these just position nicely, kind of snap right into the magazine rack here, which is really kind of a nice feature to the Jesta. And there she is. So there's the arm. Not 100% done with this, but like I said, I'm just kind of more duplicating features from the first one, scribes and things like that. So you can see here, let's get the highlight on this, try to get the light there. You can see the scribe, the bicep, and then also on the back there, the tricep scribes. Those are mimicked. Actually, they're mirrored. You can see that little notch there at the bottom is on the opposite side of both. So definitely much better looking. So arms, I think, are very, very close to being done. I just, like I said, I have to rescribe some details on that other arm that I was just working on. But what we're going to do now, we're going to jump back over to the waist, right? A few streams ago, we worked on this scribing. Let's see if I can get the highlight on that. Well, you can kind of see them there in the shadow, but we scribed these panel lines and everything in here. Simple box kind of pattern with a nice thick bisected panels right here. Got a nice little horizontal latch down here, and then you've got a little reinforcement strip there. And then on the top part here, we squared this gap here because it's rounded coming out of the, you know, the Bandai molds. So squared that off and ran the panel lines right up there to match that. So really happy with how that came out. And then also we added that nice little vent there at the bottom because it fit perfectly in that space, right? So super nice touch. So now what we need to do is we need to figure out something to do on the sides here, and then obviously we need to work on the back, right? So for the back, I think we're going to do something very similar to the front. Simple box scribes, access panels. Don't want to do anything too crazy. I don't know. Maybe add. I don't know, maybe we can add some vents back here or something like that. Maybe some Kodo parts or something. Could be interesting. So we'll brainstorm that here in just a second. Mean Goring, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for watching, and welcome to the family. So hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know. So, Soravan is over there on Twitch. Welcome, dude. His focus is acting up when you're not looking. Yeah, well, this camera sucks. So, it's not exactly surprising. This, like somebody said the other night, it's kind of like me being Tony Stark, talking to, his little mechanical arm, robot that he kind of scolds and everything. That's kind of the relationship that I have with my camera. It doesn't exactly always do what I want it to do, no matter what. So until I get a new one, we gotta kind of make do, right? So Biggie Paul's crotch. Really? Crotch vent prevents sweaty coin purse. Thank you, Paulie, for that insightful comment. We really appreciate that, buddy. Jesus. Paulie, you're killing me, buddy. All right. So, oh, man, Bailey, that's a good one, too. I'll let you guys read that on YouTube there. Bailey kind of piled on to that comment that Paulie made. So, all right. We always need these. This is required for me to see what the hell I'm doing, right? So let's get this piece off back here. We're going to work with that. We're going to set the other assembly off to the side. Now, what I like to do is to lightly sand the surface, just to scuff it up, right? Because that way it'll take pencil lead that much better. So let's just get this scuffed up, sanded really nice and lightly. And that should be good. We're going to do the same thing to the bottom, and we're going to do the same thing to the top, just so we can draw and kind of brainstorm, what we want to do here. All right, there's the bottom. Let's get the top. Not much to the top, so we don't have to do a ton of sanding up here, but I do want to just try to get that sanded nice. All right, so now we've got our we've got our piece scuffed up. Now we go through the process of kind of just brainstorming, getting ideas down here. We're not necessarily committing to anything just yet. We're just kind of playing it loosey-goosey, thinking about what might come to mind, while we're working here. Excuse me, got a frog in my throat, man. Let's see. Endless Inferno. What did I miss? Just channeling in. Not too much. We went over a really good book for beginners. I showed kind of what we did on this other arm piece here. Just went through that real quick. And now we are going into working on kind of the back waist armor, kind of the butt armor, if you will. And I've got a frog in my throat. Great. Let's see what else. Bailey says, seriously though, I love the master grade with a detailed waist frame. Really gives that sense of intricacy. I agree. Endless Inferno also just found out that Tamiya Gold Leaf is perfect for the Unicorn Psycho frame. Excellent. Good stuff. I think I have some of that Gold Leaf up on the paint shelf. It's above the Chisel Discipline sign. You guys can't see it. You might be able to see just a little hair of it right there, but yeah, I've got a little bit up there, I think. Yeah, you didn't miss anything crazy, right? So don't worry about it, Endless Inferno. Andrew Young, is it bad if I'm inhaling lacquer paint fumes? Andrew, you're killing me, buddy. Part of me wants to say no, continue, and that would be the mean part. But the smart, educational portion of me says, yeah, go grab your frickin' your respirator. Come on, man. You're better than that. You're better than that. All right. So, like I said, I think what we're going to do is to just do a simple box scribe. But what I think we might do is do a little bit something different. Because the top here, there's this kind of gap right here that fits this protrusion right here on the actual waist armor. So I think what we might do is bring some panel lines down from that and then kind of create the box pattern. So let's see, what can we do? We're going to pull these lines down here, and I'll show you what I'm doing here in just a second. I'm just kind of free-forming right now. So this gap, if we were to just this gap right here, if we were to just bring a simple box scribe down that same width, it would look weird, right? Because you would have surface area on the sides that would look just not necessarily in the same aesthetic as we've established on other pieces, the legs, the arms, etc., right? The front part of the waist. So what I think I'm going to do is bring these panel lines down just a bit, maybe a millimeter or two, and then establish that box. Okay. I think this looks pretty good. Let's check something else here. Okay, so that's not bad either. Okay, so what we're gonna do, let's see if you can see so you can kind of see, where's the light? Okay, so you can kind of see how we've brought these little lines down from that gap, right? And then we've established that box scribe below those. So that gives us a nice little panel that we can take off from there, but then a bigger panel that the maintenance folks can get in and work on whatever's there, right? So, let's see. What are you guys talking about in the chat? Let's see. Okay, good. Andrew's going to continue huffing paint fumes. Jesus. Oh, man. Hey, Kurt Hill over there on Facebook, man. I'm going to tell you what, guys. Kurt Hill is probably the hardest working mecha modeler there is, at least that I know of, because he is always working when I'm live streaming. So shout out to Kurt Hill, buddy. Thank you for watching. Definitely catch up later on YouTube. So let's see. Jormungandr has joined us from on YouTube. Thank you for joining us, dude. Welcome again. And he says, of course, in reply to Andrew, is it bad inhaling paint fumes? Yor says, of course it is. You should always wear a respirator, not a dust mask either. And then a ton of other people just basically piled on. Edwin RSA, good morning, everyone, he says over on YouTube. Good morning, Edwin. Thank you for joining us and watching. Appreciate that, buddy. And Yor went on, he says, as someone who sprays gallons at work, I would have cancer already if not for a cheap 3M 6001 respirator. Yeah, I can imagine that. Andrew says, of course, that he's kidding. All good there. M. Nielsen, welcome. Thank you for watching as well. And, man, you guys are just... oh, man. You guys are just being funny there over there on YouTube, having your own conversation. I love to see that, guys. So, modelers interacting with modelers. Good stuff. But, again, if you guys have any questions or anything, post them in the comments. No matter where you are, I'll see them, and we'll get them answered for you. So, back to brainstorming on this. What I think we might do is do the same thing here for the bottom. Is because you've got this gap down here that is going to be smaller in width to our proposed box panel. So we're going to extend 2 panel lines up from that. We're going to do about the same thing, maybe about 1 millimeter or 2 off the bottom there for this box panel. We're going to bring these up and terminate those there. So now what we've got is we've got a centralized box scribe on this, and you can kind of see there in the light the reflection. Come on, focus, damn it! You can kind of see the where is the light? Where's the light? Go into the light, Carol Ann. There we go. Now we got it. Now we're cooking. So you can kind of see that centralized box scribe that I'm thinking about doing there in the middle, but then the smaller panel scribes there at the top and the bottom. So should be cool. Endless Inferno says, hey Tim, you saw the NT Unicorn teaser yet? Yes. It actually looks halfway decent. And I've seen that goddamn poster too that everybody's posting on Facebook and all the memes and all that other dumb shit that people are posting. Ugh. Someone said if people on Facebook put as much time into their kits as they would creating dumb memes based off of promo posters that Bandai puts out, we'd have a ton more better modelers. Food for thought, people. Food for thought. And I'm not talking about you guys viewing this, because obviously if you're watching this, you want to try to up your skill set and everything. But I'm talking about just, you know, your fucking random people over there. But yeah, that poster is terrible. It's very cringy. I won't lie. But the stupid memes are even cringier. My 2 cents. I'll get off my soapbox. But great question. Oh man. Andrew says, yo Tim, you gonna make that new Jesta? Man, come on. I'm currently making a new Jesta. What are you talking about? But I have to admit, the 3 Jestas that they have artwork out, you know, for the NT series do look pretty cool. You know, you've kind of got that that Stark Jagan backpack on a Jesta, which is pretty cool. You've got that big kind of Rizel rifle on a mounted tripod, you know, for the Jesta and everything. And the other one had just this crazy big, like, I don't even know what to call it. I don't even want to call it like a grenade launcher, because that's way too big, right? So that's kind of cool too, and it's kind of got the little sniper scope, you know, on you know, coming down over the visor. You know, they're pretty cool designs. The one thing that excites me about NT is that it showcases the Gustav Karl a little bit more. We saw it hinted in Gundam Unicorn, and everybody was just like, oh my god, we're gonna get a Gustav Karl, we're gonna get a Gustav Karl. And then Bandai just teased us, just, you know, they just tickled us with it. Just sad, very, very sad. So hopefully with the Gustav Karl being more prominent in the promo art, maybe that's an indication that Bandai sees the value in it, and maybe we'll get a model from it. I'm hoping master grade, or at very least an RE, just something in 1/100 scale, because I would go crazy on a Gustav Karl. I would love it, seriously. It's just that chunky boy that Just super cool, right? Biggie Paul says Angry Tim is the best Tim. Sometimes. So, what else? Biggie Paul says, love the passion. Man, love you, Biggie Pauls. Good dude. Andrew says, make another one. Nah, I mean, I don't want to make another Jesta for a while. After this one, yeah, I don't see me making another Jesta for a while. Kyle over there on YouTube says he ordered some BMC chisels today. Nice. Good pickup, dude. Good pickup. Don't forget the handles. The handles are very important. The handles really make these chisels shine because you get more dexterity and more stability with the handles. If you've ever tried to kind of get your claw in position while trying to hold a bared BMC chisel, it's arthritis inducing. So that's my 2 cents. Bailey says the optics make it unmistakably French GIGN operative now. Oh, for the Jesta. Sorry, you lost me there for a second, but yeah. Yor says the shellac on apples is the same as that in paints. All comes from the same beetles, but it's already sprayed, so there's no solvents to inhale, and it's not atomized, so it doesn't get into blood. All right. That is a good way to say wash your produce. Wash your apples, people. If it doesn't have a peel, wash the damn thing. So, good call there, Yor. Appreciate that. Kenneth Sim, thank you for watching and tuning in. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. He says, evening, guys. With Bandai repacking old kits as P Bandai. Just some add-on parts. Yeah. That's P Bandai for you, though, right? That's Bandai in general. They used to love the repaint thing on Master Grades back in the day. They still do. But they're P Bandai now, and they're not regular releases like they were back in the day. I'm looking at you, F2 Zaku, and then the EFS version. Same kit, different guns. That's seriously all it was. They love to milk that shit. But still, at the end of the day, I still love Bandai. What are we gonna do? It's like we're in an abusive relationship, and we're the dummy that just keeps coming back to the abuser. Think about that. Moving on. Endless Inferno says, yo, wait, what if he tried the Master Grade Unicorn and decking it out with scribes? He would throw the damn thing across the room. Yeah, probably. Biggie Paul says, Gooch playing head games. Yeah, he is. Yeah, but we love the Gooch. Flesh Peeler 45. Damn, I love that name. Such a cool name. Hope we get a ton of Master Grades from NT. This year's offering in the Master Grade line haven't really done it for me. Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's just, it's a sad state of affairs for Master Grades. You know, back in the day, early 2000s, you would get one a month, right? We would get spoiled. 11 to 12 kits in a year. 10 on an off year, right? But man, now we get 3, 4, maybe. It's just, it's unfortunate, especially for people that love Master Grades like myself. Bandai, you abuse me. Kyle says, got handles for each of those BMC chisels. Excellent. Good call. Andrew Young says, you can 3D print BMC chisel holders off Mr. Dash Universe. Mr. Dash Thingiverse. Yeah, if you had a 3D printer. Not all of us do, dude. Bailey says, now the Master Grade F2 is P Bandai too. LOL. Yeah. Just goes to show you we're in an abusive relationship, people. Endless Inferno, please do the Master Grade Unicorn the same way you're doing your Jesta. I challenge you to do this. I just don't dig the unicorn though, so I don't see myself ever really tackling that, to be honest with you. You know, it's cool. It's just not my cup of tea. You know, I'm more of a grunty kind of aesthetic kind of guy. You know, I don't really get into the Gundams, you know, the main protagonist Gundams too much. That's just me. But you never know. You never know. You never know what the future will hold. Yours says, I can't be mad at P Bandai anymore. They released my favorite mech of all time, the Woundwort. I can now die happy buried with my pile of Woundworts. Dude, how many did you order? You got a pile. That's crazy. But hey, yeah, you know, you got to give it to Bandai. Giving us what I want, or giving us what we want in a roundabout sort of way, I guess. I don't know. Andrew Young says, get yourself a cute cube Woundy. Yeah, I've heard bad things about that one. Bailey says, Yaz, grunt suits for the win. Andrew Young says, I don't have a 3D printer, LOL. Killing me, Andrew. You're killing me, Andrew. You're killing me, buddy. Kenneth Sim, if Bandai still regularly released Master Grades each month, but sadly they current focus on P Bandai more than anything now. The slide from P Bandai, or listen to me, the slide from Master Grades was the biggest impact was, well, there were two big impacts. Let me kind of explain this. Xavier, let's go to one camera real quick so I can talk to you guys about this, because this is something that maybe not a lot of people know, right? So Master Grades were heavily impacted by two big reasons. And we've had Xavier from Bluefin, the US distributor, and he's talked about this in depth, and he's given, you know, statistics and all that good stuff. But the two big reasons were, number one, Build Fighters came out. When that debuted, I mean, they were just pumping 144s like crazy, right? So that was their cash cow at the time. The second big reason was they attained the Star Wars license. So they were pumping out Star Wars and 144 Build Fighter kits. So that's kind of the main reason for the decline of the Master Grade. There just hasn't been, you know, resources put into that line as much as it used to be. Sad, but, you know, that's business, right? I can't fault Bandai for doing the smart business move. If they're making money off of, you know, the builders, brain fart, the build divers and all that, you know what I'm talking about. If they're making money off of those 144 kits, then, you know, that's what you're in business to do, right? You're in business to make money. If you're making money, you're in good shape. You're making the shareholders happy. You know, it's a sad thing, but shareholders come before customers. It's just business, right? It shouldn't be that way, granted, but it is that way, and that's unfortunate. So that's what we have to kind of deal with as customers and as fans of the model kits. So, you know, hopefully, you know, I don't see the build, you know, the build divers, you know, Build Fighters line dying anytime, because that is a massive chunk of change for Bandai. But hopefully the Star Wars kits start to, you know, trail off, and, you know, hopefully more resources are put into Master Grades again, you know, like they were in the past. So time will tell, right? We got to be patient. We got to be patient. But with new series like NT coming out, it does give us hope for, you know, brand new models. So fingers crossed. Bandai, if you're watching. All right, let's switch it back to two camera. We'll get back to work here. Let's get caught up on the chat just real quick. Just a few more comments, and then we're going to jump back on, and we're going to get back to work on this waist thing. Jesus, he got five wound warts. And he says, I wanted the Q cube, plan to get it someday as I prefer 1/100 scale. But damn, dude, 5 wound warts? Yeah, you can die a happy man now, buddy. That's cool. Gamer Bud, I used to only look at the main Gundam units, but now that I have some kits and built some, I've been looking more and more at grunts and Zakus. You can do so much with grunts, man. Look at the Zeta Plus, my favorite mech of all time. It made a freaking hummingbird out of it, right? You could do a ton of other things to it. The Rizel, the Marasai, the Zaku, Grimgird is another one. I know that wasn't a grunt suit, but still, you can do a ton with it. So those are all, kind of examples of really interesting grunt suits. The Jesta, the GM Sniper 2, normal GM, the GMC, all of those. You can do some crazy, crazy customizations too. You can take them out of left field and just get nutty with them. That's what I like about them. With Gundams, or the main suits, the main protagonists or antagonists, there's a little less leeway in creativity, because if you go too far outside the box, people are going to be like, I don't get it, right? What? I don't understand. Why did you do that? But with grunt suits, and Bandai, keep pumping the, kind of the MSB flavors out for us. There's more believability in these massive customizations or modifications, add-ons, things of that nature for those grunt suits, right? So that's my philosophy anyways. I don't know if you guys want to take that or leave it, but hey, that's me. Let's see. Endless Inferno. Oh, too bad. Well, I'm tired. I had a strange day. I'll see y'all later. Hey, thanks for tuning in, Endless Inferno. Appreciate that. Andrew Young, my fingers died with the cute cube. LOA, 3 a.m. snapping, and it fell apart, made me cry. Yeah, I've kind of heard that. You ain't a modeler if you can't cute cube wound wart. Fair enough. Biggie Paul, Star Wars, so nice. C-3PO is undergated and amazing. Hayakushiki gold plate, R2-D2, gloss injected with silver, has no swirls. Don't sleep on Star Wars kits. Yeah, they're beautiful kits from what I've seen. Really, really good. But just the retraction of resources from the master grade line. That's why I don't know. It is what it is. Edwin R. says, without customers, there is no revenue. True. That is a good point. But when it comes down to brass tacks, customers are more or less a commodity, I guess. So, Bandai, when you run a business such as Bandai's, you're beholden to your stockholders. That's just business. But yeah, no, I mean, customers are obviously your bread and butter, your number one commodity that you need, right? So, good call. Andrew Young, oh baby, my Xeon legs are finally painted up. Oh baby. Nice. Bailey says, I love Grimgird, got plans for mine. Awesome. I love the Grimgird too. So much you can do with that, right? Captain Weirdbeard over there on Twitch says, hi, hello, sir. Thank you for tuning in. Rem NNT over there also on Twitch. Is this the regular Jester or the Jesta Cannon? Sorry, you've probably answered this a million times now. I'm late to the party, man. No worries, dude. No, this is actually the just vanilla master grade Jesta kit. We're detailing it up, putting some kind of cool, simple details into it, and this is kind of more or less an out-of-box build for me. I'm not customizing it very heavily. I'm not modifying any parts in terms of, lengthening or reshaping or anything like that. We're just kind of tacking on some details, doing some chisel work and stuff like that. So somewhat simplistic modification. So thank you for tuning in. Appreciate that question. Gamerbud, one I would love as a master grade would be the super custom Zaku F2000. He says that beast screams customize, but for now, I'll settle with the high grade I got sitting in my backlog. Nice. It's an interesting concept, the Zaku, the Super Zaku F2000. I don't think it's for everybody. I think it's a little over the top for me. That's just my personal preference. But I can definitely see the appeal to it. And, you know, for what it is, it's interesting and then it's kind of cool. Seeing that Bandai went so far into left field with that design, it gives you a bit of hope for Bandai designs, right? Captain Weirdbeard 88, that was my kid. Who? Remnant? Rem NNT? I don't know. If that's what it was, that's cool, man. That's cool. Watching as a family. Awesome. Jose Lira says, nice work over there on Facebook. Thank you, Jose. Appreciate that, buddy. Thanks for tuning in and watching. That was awesome. And now that we're all caught up again, man, you guys are crazy in the chat tonight. You guys are going nuts. I love it. I love it. I love every second of it. So we're going to get back on this. I want to add something else. It needs something else. Because on the leg, obviously, we added this this vent, this thruster, whatever we want to, you know, whatever we want to call that. We added that here. So, you know, we've got a little bit more mobility in this, right? So I want to add something back here similar, right? So, Remnant. Okay, cool. You got it. Awesome. Good, good, good. Oh, Captain Weirdbeard. Oh, I get it. Sorry. Brain fart. Remnant says I'll be Captain's kid, though, as long as he buys me Gunpla. That's funny. No, Captain Weirdbeard says his kid got on the phone and said hi. That's cute, man. That's awesome. Well, tell the little one I said hi to. That's cool. That is cool. M. Nielsen says, bet it's not cheap. Most resin kits aren't. Depends. It depends. If it's a recast, it's going to be cheaper, but then you take the chances of it being a fucking recast, right? You kind of roll the dice on quality at that point. So, all right. So let's get some Kodo parts out here. Reach over here, you know, to my stash. I don't know if any of these. Well, what's this one? Maybe these. I don't know about those. What do you guys think? I don't know. I think these are too simple. Let's dig in our box from Hobby Search that I have yet to unpack here. Let's see what we've got. These are always good. Ooh, wait a minute. Ooh. I have an idea. Let's dig into our box of Greeblies. That's always fun. I love Greeblies, man. Let's get you zoomed out a little bit to see the box of Greeblies. Because this is, you know, the legendary box of Greeblies. We got to give it its due, right? So, we've got Greeblies in here of all shapes, sizes, and flavors. And this is just one box. This is kind of like my main kind of top dog box of Greeblies. We got more up here on the shelf behind the top camera. But this is where I kind of put the choice Greeblies, right? So let's see if anything is in here that we could use. Let's dig around in our box of Greeblies here. I am thinking, no, not you. Not you either. Ooh, wait a minute. What's this right here? Let's dig you out. We'll put you off to the side. And I like this one. We're going to put you off to the side there. What else do we have in here? Anything good? What's this one right here? This one might be good. I like that. And that probably gives us a good variety of Greeblies to work with. What's in here? Anything good? Nothing that would fit the area. That's not going to go on there. Let's see. All right, I think we're good. I think we got a good 3 possibilities here. We're going to put our box of Greeblies off to the side. And let me show you the 3 that I picked out for this. And we'll get you zoomed in here so you can kind of see what it do. Let's get these arranged nicely so you guys can see them. And whoop, there we go. Need to get you moved over here a little bit. All right, right about there. Okay, cool. So what we got here are greeblies. Let's see, let's put these two kind of together. These are just kind of thruster vent type of details that we have at our disposal. These two right here are from Wave. These are kind of a newer set of thrusters. These are the old school looking thrusters. I really like these because these actually have these kind of little details on the side here. And let's see if you can see these in the light. Let's get these tweezed up. Yeah, you can kind of see those little details on the side there. You can paint those up and make them look really, really quite nice. So I like these little greeblies here. And then this one is actually from a 1/100 scale high grade seed kit. I think it might have been from the Buster, the old 1/100 scales. I think that's what it was from. I could be mistaken. But anyway, it's in our box of greeblies. We're going to take it, we're going to take a look at it, and we're going to see if it fits. And we're going to mock all three of these up here and see which one we like the most. Let's start with this big old fatty one here. This may be too big, but man, it does fit perfectly within inside of that kind of proposed panel box there. That could be the dark horse. It's nice and big and beefy looking, right? I don't know. I like it. I don't know if I'm sold on it. This one here, man, this one protrudes probably a good 4 millimeters off the surface. So I think that might be a little bit more than I would want. Let me show you the side profile and show you what I mean here. So see how much, really? Camera focus. But see how much that protrudes from the surface? Anyway, it protrudes a little bit too much for my liking, so I don't think I'm going to use this one. We'll set that off to the side. Let's take a look at this last one here. See what this looks like. Now this has some little tabs on the back, so it's actually protruding a little bit off the surface right now. Probably more than what it would, but man, oh, I kind of dig how that looks. Let's get super zoom in on this and really kind of take a look-see at this, because I think super zoom will help us decide, right? So let's get super zoom involved. Boom, 5x. Okay, so let's move this up a little farther. So, yeah, look at that. That actually kind of looks nice. I dig that. And the thing with this is once I clip off these tabs here, right, it'll sit nice and flush, and it's not nearly as pronounced height-wise as the first one here, right? Look at the height difference. I mean, you're talking probably a good 1.5 mil on this one, as opposed to 3 mil in height on this one. I dig this so much. And the reason being is because it kind of flows in with the overall look of, well, super zoom, with the overall look of the Jesta, you know? Everybody's saying go with the first one, go with the first one. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not digging that as much. See, look, we'll try to get the profile again here. And of course the camera doesn't want to focus because the cameras hate me, right? Look at that. You're killing me right now, camera. Come on. Okay. So see how much that protrudes? You're talking 3-4 millimeters off the top. So Bailey says, yeah, clip the tabs. Let's see. That's a good call. Let's do that. Because these tabs are never going to be used anyway. So we're going to clip these off. And we need to file these off here. So we're just going to use our bastard file. We're just going to go to work. Ow, that didn't feel good. Flatten this puppy out here. Come on. All right. Now we got the back of this nice and flat and flush, right? So now let's take a look-see. Right there. Then this is the okay, so this is the bottom right here. So now get it lined up. Come on. See, and that fits really nicely within that box, that proposed box panel there too. The other one has obviously a little more detail to it, but I'm not overly concerned with that because the vents and everything on the rest of the Jesta isn't nearly kind of as detailed as that, right? But I like that look. I like that look. Yeah, Soraban over on Twitch, or Twitch, he says, I like the skinny one the most. You can always sand a little of the height off of it. Yeah, but then it loses, if you sand the height off of this, either it's shallow up here, so you're going to lose depth on the reveal here, which isn't ideal. But then if you sand off the bottoms, or if you take length off the bottoms, you lose these nice little kind of latch kind of details here on the sides, which I would want ideally to keep, right? Now, I could always put those back on, but I don't know. I like this one. It's more subtle than the other two. And I think at the position that this is going to be at, remember guys, this is going to be on the back here. And what we need to keep in mind is that the back armor, the rear skirt armor, is going to be back here too, right? So talking about, kind of aesthetics, right? Let's see, here we go. Let's kind of get this looked at here, because you got these two vents here on the sides, or on the back skirts, right? And then if we put these down so this thing doesn't go sliding everywhere, you kind of got those simplistic vents on the side skirts, and I think maybe move that to the top there. Ooh, I like that a little bit better. Yeah. That's the one, guys. I'm going with that. Sorry for everybody that said something else, but we're going with that one. We're going with this one. Final answer. All right. Let's clean this thing up because I just cut this off the runner initially. Didn't clean the nubs, so we're just going to trim those off here. Woo. Who's that? Jose Lira. Thank you, buddy, for subscribing on YouTube. Appreciate that. Saw you over there on Facebook, so thanks for the subscribe on there. Welcome to the family. Awesome. All right, so let's, we're trimming up the nubs on this guy. Just trimming these off here. And let's see. Now this is a nice sharp blade, and you want to let it do the work, especially when you're clearing nubs like this. And I'll be honest with you, I hardly ever sand after I cut the nubs. I'll do it sometimes if it's just really problematic, but the knife will get just a super smooth result if you're really careful and precise with it. And you can always just kind of scrape the surface as well, and that's basically the same as sanding, you know, in all intents and purposes. So we're going to just smooth these out just ever so slightly, right like that. That bottom one is perfect. I'm going to clear off the sanding crud off the sides here from filing the bottom. And then let's get this piece back off here. Now, like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this at the top now because I like that look, right? But before we glue this on, I want to chisel in the panel lines first to get those set up. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this this vent here as our measuring guide for our piece of Dymo tape that we need to cut. So let's put these little greeblies back off to the back there. We'll put those back in the box of greeblies a little bit later. And let's get our friend the chopper going here. We're going to zoom you out so you can see what we're doing here. Boom, just like that. And what we're going to do, since we need a piece of Dymo tape the same relative thickness, or width, I should say, as this vent, what we want to do is use this as a measuring guide. So real simple to do. You put in the blade in the down position all the way to the surface. You put this, put your little vent piece right up against the blade, and then make sure that's nice and tight. And then you just slide your stop block over until it hits that. Now we want a little bit of room, so we're going to slide it back just a hair, maybe about a half a millimeter from that, and then we're going to lock this in place, just like that. So now we'll pull our vent out, set that off to the side. Now we're ready to cut some tape. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the end of this Dymo tape is nice and square. Just chop that off, trash that, and now, actually, yeah, we need to do something different. So we're actually going to cut a strip of this. There we go. So now we've got our strip. Obviously, it didn't matter if the ends were square since we just cut a strip off, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to trim this strip down to the proper width. So we're just going to butt that right up against the stop block. Get our L square right up against that, nice and tight. And we're going to trim that strip down to the appropriate width. Put that leftover off to the side because that's going to go into the scrap bin for our Dymo tape. We can always reuse that later, right? Now we're going to see what this looks like and if that is the appropriate width. It's not bad. Let me see what this looks like on here. I think that may be just a hair too wide, just a little bit. And normally, if the piece of Dymo tape was too wide, we could cut it down. But with this piece of Dymo tape being so close to the width that we need, it's just not going to work out, unfortunately. So we need to cut another piece of Dymo tape because trying to trim down just a little sliver of tape on the chopper, it's going to basically tip the tape, and it's just not going to leave a clean cut on that tape. So not a big deal. We just use another piece of strip, right, of tape. So we'll cut that, and then let's adjust our stop block real quick. Get that just back over just a little bit. And now we cut another piece of tape. Let's get our L square to hold the tape in properly. Get that nice and secured. Cut that. the scrap off to the side, save that for later, and move the chopper out of the way. And then let's see what this looks like now. This is a little thinner, probably about a 0.5 millimeter thinner than what we had. And I think that is perfect. I think that's exactly where we need it to be. So we're looking good. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to get the length of this piece of tape, because obviously this box is floating in the middle of the panel, so we just can't have it run off the side, right? So let's get the good old T-square out here. And then let's measure this up. All right, so we're looking at, what, 16 millimeters. That's the length that we need. So we're going to unlock that. Let's measure out 16 millimeters. Right there. Slide the stop block into place, lock that in. Get that out of the way. And now, let's see, we've got some room to work, so we're going to trim off both edges to make them square, or at least the first edge. And we're going to use that right up against the stop block. Trim the piece, and now we've got a perfectly trimmed square piece of Dymo tape that we'll be using for our box panel stencil, right? So let's mock this up here just real quick, see what it looks like. Yeah, that'll be perfect. That will be perfect. All right, good stuff. So let's check in with Facebook, see what's going on over there. Anything? Yeah, man, look at that. Kira Yet, welcome. He says, I am back. Awesome. Thank you for watching, buddy. Appreciate that. Ron Art, too many parts that it's hard to look for the right one. Yeah, man, I know, right? All these Greeblies. Ron Art also says, haven't got time for the past week to watch your work in progress. That's okay, man. YouTube, dude. You can watch it while you're working or something. And then Saud Al Zajali, I hope I'm saying that pronunciation right. Just gave a little emoji. Thank you for watching, everybody over there on Facebook. Appreciate that. That's awesome. Good stuff. And all right, so let's get to getting this backing off of here. We're going to put that off to the side, get the tweezers going, trash the backing. All right, so now we got to line it up on this piece, and this is going to be you know, pretty crucial in terms of placement, right? Because we need it centered both up and down, but then also left and right. Zardra, thank you for the follow there on Twitch. Appreciate that. Welcome. Thank you for watching as well. All right, so let's see. That looks pretty good. That's kind of where we want it to be. So with that thin of a reveal around this piece, what we need to do, it would be pointless to try and measure with a ruler, right? Unless you had one of those rulers with a really, really thin increments on it. But what I like to do is just use a piece of plastic strip, because what that's going to allow me to do is measure for constant thickness, or constant width, I should say. That's perfectly aligned that way. And I think this is pretty much money right here. That's good. And then up and down, there's a little bit more reveal on this side than that side, which is what I wanted anyway. So that's good. So this box right here, this is ready to scribe. So let's get to that. Let's commit to it. All right. So starting at one corner, real light touch on the chisel. You want to let the chisel do the work, obviously. Now, with this being kind of a floating kind of box panel, if you will, you do need to take very, very good care in the corners, because that's going to be your problem areas with this type of scribe, because you need to contain the scribes, the lines on the surface itself. There's no runoff. There's no room for that, right? Billy, he says, haha, that's why I love my stainless steel ruler. It's got 0.5 millimeter increments. Nice, nice. I have other rulers that have super small increments as well, but I find it easier just to use a plastic strip and just go with that. So, Matthew Cummings over there on Facebook, he says, dude, I do not have the patience to do this sort of work for my models, but you're awesome. Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate that, buddy. Man, you know what? Work up to it. Work up to it. And you don't have to do what I do, right? Maybe try a couple things that I do, and then work from there, right? So it's all about what you want to accomplish. So, hey, but thanks for watching. I appreciate that, man. Good stuff. But like I was saying on here, you want to take very, very special care in the corners, because those are going to be your super problem areas on this type of scribe. So what I do is to start at one end of one side and then go almost to the other end, but stop just before. And then that way you can establish the other side and get that scribe real nice and clean. Get that corner just perfect. And from there, once you've got that first side established, that's going to be your toughest thing on this type of scribe. Once you get that first side established and set in and clean and all that, then you can just move around the box like you would any other type of scribing project. So now it gets a lot easier. Okay, just kind of cleaning up this side of that line here. And then again, once you get that first side established in that first corner, that's where you kind of basically start to pull your next line from, is that corner. And same type of thing, you want to scribe almost to the next corner, but not all the way. All right. Whew, man, oh man. Bailey says, oh man, I love when you get a nice crisp corner. Dude, yeah? I mean, when you're scribing, it's probably not much of a better feeling than seeing just a super crispy, clear corner. It's just one of those things. It is a problem area for a lot of people that scribe. Andrew Young says, actually, I'm starting to like chiseling now. It took hell a long time for me to learn it, but got it. Yeah, dude. Your scribes are looking a lot better, Andrew, I do have to say. So, kudos. All right. So, got that second line established now. So now we can pull the third side here. All right. Nice corners. That's what really kind of sells the illusion of scale, as I like to say. Let's start working from the other side here, meeting up. And one thing, make sure you clear out the debris, kind of the scribing kind of shavings, if you will, because those will be a problem. If you let those build up, they can become a ramp for your chisel, and nobody likes to ramp on a scribe. And if you don't know what I mean, if you haven't watched, the streams before, ramping is when the scriber basically jumps out of the line and mars the rest of the surface. You scratch into the rest of the surface. So that's what ramping is called. And 9 times out of 10, it's due to debris buildup just from the scribe itself. So it's super important to clear out that debris, those shavings and stuff, to avoid that buildup, and then obviously to avoid your chisel from ramping out of the line that you're trying to scribe. That's not fun, and it's common. I'll be honest. Even for people like me that do a lot of chiseling and stuff, it's still very common and it happens. But you do want to try to avoid it as much as possible. All right, last side here, and then we'll kind of reveal what this box looks like. Okay, get debris out of there. And that is not sounding like a smooth line right here. I don't know if you guys can hear the skipping of this, or the chirping, but that indicates that the line itself, the bottom of this new panel line, is not smooth. And you do want to try to avoid that. You want to have a smooth line, because what that's going to help you with is when you go to actually panel line this thing, that will help your panel lining fluid or wash or whatever you use, that will help it flow better. And obviously, before you panel line or do your wash or whatever, obviously, you should have a nice glossy clear coat down to aid with flow and everything. And then obviously for decals and stuff too. But a smooth scribe is going to help, that much more. So that's important. All right. So we're just going to flip it around, do this whole width here. Much better sounding. And you want to keep your ear out for that, because if it is skipping, if you don't hear, one kind of continuous sound as your scriber is scraping that plastic, then, you want to flip it around and go from the other side and try to smooth that out a bit. Man, this top side scribe just does not want to work with me here. That one direction is just killing me with the unevenness. All right, but we got it. That's the important thing. Whew, warm tonight. Holy shit, it's 11:30 already. We've been at this an hour and a half. Crazy. Time flies when you're having fun and having good conversations with people. Oh, let's see. Let's get caught up in the chat. What are you guys doing right now? Andrew Young, I had to putty kits at least 10 times, I guess, from scribing and everything. Ace Schultz, Burkana, he says, "Hi, Tim. Sorry I'm late. How's everyone tonight? Don't be sorry. The fact that you're here is good. So welcome. Thank you for watching, buddy." Bailey says, "I'm forcing myself to slow down and triple measure each line on my Zaku before I take the chisel to it. 2x magnification plus the loop on my Optivisor helps." Absolutely. Absolutely. Measure twice, measure 3 times, maybe even 4, and then commit to it. So yeah, good rule of thumb. Good rule of thumb, Bailey. All right, so let's strip the tape off here. Let's see what we've got underneath of this thing, because there's always kind of your reveal factor. You don't know what it's going to look like until you peel the tape off, much like masking. And let's see what we've got here. Let's see what we did. Did we mess it up? Did we do good? Does it look like crap? I don't know. Let's sand this off a little bit. Just get a nice even look to the surface. That will give us a better indication of kind of what we did here. So we're just going to scuff this up a little bit more here. And we'll come back, we'll sand this surface nice and smooth. Just kind of get a nice wet sand on this, get it baby butt smooth, right? So, let's clear away the dust as best we can. And there's that. Let's get super zoomed in, because that actually helps me see it in better clarity as well. And boom. And there's our floating kind of box scribe. So that looks pretty damn decent, I might say. What do you guys think? Look good? Yeah? So now what we've got to do, we've got to bring panel lines down from both sides of this gap, and then up from both sides of this gap up to that box. And then we can kind of play around with the box and get crazy and do some different things. Put the vent on there, the whole nine. So we'll do that here now. So let's get you out of super zoom first. That is a little bit of limiting, you know, being zoomed in so far. Get the box away, boom, boom, cool. All right. All right. BXB Business, he says, hey, eat my ass. Awesome. That's pretty cool of you. And he also says, eat me. Aw, that's super cute. Thank you for joining. Appreciate that. That's awesome of you. Fucking blocked. Oh, you asshole. Okay, anyway. Sometimes you get that on Twitch, people. Some random people just coming in and being dicks. But hey, not a big deal. We deal with that, right? It's what they made the block feature for. So, so here we go. Let's get back to this. We got to pull these measurements here. And what's that look like? That looks like 5 mil. Let me zoom in here. Yeah, 5 mil looks good. I think that's exactly what we need. So, chisel, discipline. Boom. Oh, man, you guys on Twitch are killing me. You guys are great. Oh, my God. Cool. You two dipshits are ignored. Have fun with that. Thanks for the sub, though. Dumbass. All right. Oh my, good stuff. Love it. You guys are special kind of stupid. Yeah, I know, Soravon, we need Jim over here, buddy. There you go, Soravon. In the meantime, you got some mod permissions there on Twitch, so hopefully you don't mind. All right. Oh, God. I love hecklers, man. They're the best. A wise man once said that if you don't have haters, then you're not doing anything interesting. Oh, cool. Thanks, Sorvan. Appreciate that, brother. Figured you're on. Why not give it to you, right? So, no pressure or nothing. You don't have to be on every time. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Cool. All right. So, nice. All right. Here's another one. Orkana, you got it too, buddy. Nice. Thank you, Sorvan. Appreciate that, brother. So, yeah, so Berkana, you and Soravan are both mods over there on good old Twitch. Sorry about the interruption here, people. Just some people being dicks. It's all good, though. It's all good. All right. So, put that off to the side. Let's get the chopper into play here. We're going to pop this on here. We need 5 mil. We're going to scale that back just a bit because we need room for those panel lines. So let's unlock this, bump that over, lock that into position. All right. Andrew Young, he hates me for my skills. What skills? My nunchuck skills? My tetherball skills? What skills do you hate me for, Andrew? Oh, man. All right, cool deal. Put that off to the side. Let's get this going here. Let's see if this width is where we need it to be. Oh, yeah, perfect. Like it. That's what we need. All right, so now, since this wraps around a little bit, we need to make a fold on this. So what I like to do is just put the tape on the back side of this T-square here, and then kind of butt this up to the edge here, and just kind of fold that over. That'll give you a nice 90-degree bend to the tape. So then we can peel this back, pop it on our piece, and we'd be good to go. All right, right there. All right, gotta position this properly here because that is important because we need clearance on both sides of this gap for the panel lines that we're going to scribe. That looks good, nice and even. Sweet. All right, so looks like Berkana and Soravan are having a virtual fight with beam sabers and nunchaku beam sabers, and Berkana just peeled out a Char kick. You guys are funny, man. I gotta admit, you guys are funny. Oh, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Robert LaFlash is over there on Facebook, actually. Welcome, Robert. Thank you for watching, buddy. M. Nielsen, what kind of tape are you using, Tim? Just simple Dymo tape, man. Just simple Dymo tape. Now, what I should clarify is that this is the old school. This is the old school Dymo tape. This is the embossing tape, right? So make sure you get that, not that new kind of heat transfer tape. That's kind of garbage. And it's not nearly as thick, so it won't give you a good guide for the lines. So, all right, let's get these scribe in here. Okay, looks good there. Now these top two little ones. These are nice and simple. Alright, flip this around, get this last little panel line here. Alright, let's see what we've got here. Pull this tape off. Throw that off to the side here. And yeah, I think this looks pretty good. I think that matches up to this gap down here pretty nicely. We're going to clear away some of the debris. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, Sarvan, I think you might be right with that, man. I think you might be right with your assessment of that. It's probably a bot, because there seems to be a lot of accounts in on this one tonight, at least 3 or 4. So, Zardra, thank you. They say your patience and work are incredible. I look up to you as a modeler so much. It's very sweet of you. Thank you for those kind words. I appreciate that. M. Nielsen, sweet. Thanks for that. You're welcome, man. I Ballistic Dolphin, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Hopefully you're not one of the bots that have been coming into the stream, but if you're not, welcome. Thank you for that. Bailey says, I've got the super Suji Borido clear 9mm tape on order from Hobby Search. Good call. I suspect it's just specially made clear Dymo based on the cage the roll comes in. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's pretty much what it is. It's just going to be basically guide tape. So yeah, clear Dymo tape is essentially what it is. I've not seen the Suji Borido tape, but I know from just looking at like the Haiku tape, it doesn't have backing paper like the Dymo has. It doesn't have this back film. So I wish it did, because if it's just plain, it just has the adhesive back here, it's going to be hard as shit to cut it on the chopper, and shape it to actual stencils. So that's my only concern with that. I don't know if the Suji Borido has that or not. I haven't seen it. But, food for thought. I know that's probably not a huge deal to most, but it's kind of a deal breaker for me. So it is what it is. Okay, we're just kind of cleaning up this box scribe again here a little bit, because I just wasn't happy with the way that it looked. But I've got a ton of debris in this corner that I got to clear out before it starts ramping on me. All right, there we go. We got it. Okay, now we're looking good. Clean that up. Good. All right, cool. So, let's get you super zoomed on this box, and let's see what it looks like. There we go. All right, so there you can kind of see now how we pulled those lines from that gap. So that basically makes this access panel right here look separated from all the other parts in this. So I like that look. And we're going to do the same thing to the top right here, right? So we're going to get back out of super zoom, and we're going to jump back over to that. Okay, cool. Let's see, what are you guys talking about? Let's get caught up. Robert LaFlash is over here on YouTube again. Thank you for watching, Robert. Switching over from Facebook there. Bailey says, yeah, I've got the high Q and the MadWorks, no backing. I see the benefit to having the backing. Yeah, you know, it's just super useful. I wish Dymotape had like a clear version of theirs, but they just don't, unfortunately. I've looked for it. I've looked for it all. What are you going to do? So let's see. We just keep going. Andrew, we talked about Andrew Young says 10mm MadWorks tape. You can reuse it even without backing. How's that work? I don't know. Zardra over there on Twitch says, do you remember the first model you ever did in your life? LOL. It's probably like an old wing kit or something like that. I think it was. It's probably like an old 144 Gundam wing kit, way back in the day. Let's see. Kenneth Sim. Question, how often, Tim, do you change the blade on the Chopper 2? Was planning to invest one with extra blades. You know, it doesn't have to be too often. And honestly, you don't have to buy the blades special or anything, because they're just standard razor blades, right? You can just get like a big old pack of these off Amazon or in a hardware store or something like that. And yeah, these fit perfectly on there. So just your standard straight blades, your standard like utility or scraper blades, that's what the Chopper 2 uses. So just get a big old pack of these, and this, like I said, this is a few bucks on Amazon. So that's all you really need. That's all you really need. So good stuff there. Let's see. Robert LaFlash, it's a bit sad that Hobby Search is on vacation through today. Yeah, you know, everybody's got to take vacation time, you know. Andrew Young, it's still... Oh, Andrew Young is talking about the I guess the MadWorks. The MadWorks tape, I guess, Andrew? He says it's still sticky even after you take it off. Also, you can make templates out of them. Yeah, you can do the same thing with Dymo, too. Bailey says, I was wondering. Great, I'm going to get a fat stack of blades, too. Yeah, dude. Standard, utility blades, straight blades. It's all you got to use. All you got to use. So, all right. So let's measure this gap here. And look at that. That's also going to be 5mm. So we can use the same width that we've already got locked into the chopper here. Let's get the cap back on the chisel, because chisel this one, right? So let's get this squared up first, because we don't need a super long strip like we did before. So we're just going to cut just a standard piece of Dymo here. There she is. We're going to throw the roll off to the side. And let's get a good bend on this so we can work with it. Just like that. Good. Okay, so now there's our piece of tape that we're going to be using. Let's 100% measure this up to make sure we've got the right width. Yep, looks good. Looks good. So now we got to apply this and get some lines scribed in. Okay. All right. Robert the Flash, even with vacation, there are a lot of viable options. That's from Burkana over there on YouTube. Robert LaFlash then replies, after Monday's stream, I went a bit wild on research before I saw they were on vacation. Oh boy. So now waiting for all the decals and option parts to be sent. Oh boy. Let's see. Robert LaFlash, HLD didn't have stock on a lot of them. Yeah, and that's the drawback with HLJ a lot of times, is that they just don't have a great supply of a lot of things. The popular things they have, but man, just some of the tools and stuff, they just do not carry a great supply. Bailey says they're out for Oban, right? I don't know. They said they would be back the 15th, but Oban finishes the 16th. Cool. All right. Well, there we go. All right. So, getting back to this, let's get these lines scribed in here. Okay. These are just simple straight lines because there's a runoff obviously at the back here that we can just kind of trail the chisel off, so we don't have to be super careful with this like we were with the other ones, but always want to take it nice and slow, methodical, and pay attention to what you're doing. Okay. So we'll go the tape off there. Let's see what we've got here. Let's inspect. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. All right. Get that capped. Robert LaFlash says they said through the 17th. Okay. Rakana says if anyone needs tools or supplies in bulk, they can always find him on Facebook. He says he orders about every 2 weeks for various stores and U.S. customers, and that's a great mention. It's a Gundam sales on Facebook, so check him out. That's Prakana's kind of store business type of thing. Really easy to work with, very reliable, great stuff. So check them out on Facebook if you have that. All right, so let's get you super zoomed in here and see what's what. And I know those guys on Twitch are working overtime right now, and I appreciate you guys for that because people are going off. All right, so there's the bottom. There is the top. So that looks good, right? So pop this on to the piece itself. Whoops, different way. All right, and then let's get you out of super zoom here. And let's see if we can get the light. All right. So there you can see kind of how everything just flows real nice, those scribes and everything to those gaps, and how the parts interact and everything with the panels. So really nice, really clean look. I dig it. So good stuff there. All right, let's get back over to here. Let's see. There we go. Now we're in business. Okay, cool. Let's see. Robert LaFlash. Tim, when you're priming and wet sanding, do you clean with water and a drop of liquid detergent between every round? No. So basically what I do is before when I prime. So basically, before I prime, I've pretty much sanded every surface already. Probably wet sanded the surface already too, right? To get it nice and smooth. And then, you lay your first, round of primer down to check for errors, check for any gaps or, holes or anything that you might have missed, right? Any imperfections in the surface. Fix those, fill those, what have you, and then reapply the primer. Once you get to that point, your primer should be just super smooth. So you don't have to necessarily wash anything. I do run the parts through my ultrasonic cleaner first. Maybe with a little bit of dish detergent. I think that might be what you're trying to get at. But not, I just do it once before I prime. Just to get the surface nice and smooth. You can also do the same thing. You can also just kind of dip them in isopropyl alcohol too. That'll get a lot of the kind of oils and stuff like that off of their surface contaminants. You can do that too. So either or I think is fine. Robert also says, yeah, I was gonna look to message you about a few things from Japan that should have been released. I think he's talking to Berkana Ace Schultz over there. Oh, cool! Look at that. Nice. Getting some leads. I like that. Good stuff. Robert LaFlash. I've been running into issues with the resin parts. Yeah. Okay. So let's get back to one camera. And let me talk to you about resin. So I do, obviously, if you guys have seen my work, I do resin casting myself. I'll create masters of, scratch build parts or modified parts or what have you, mold those, cast those, use those in projects. So the thing with resin is, yay, resin talk, nice. The thing with resin is that there is, it has a mold release. The surface layer of resin itself is a little oily to begin with. So you need to take special care with resin parts. What I would say first is a nice kind of bath in a degreaser. For my money, if you're in the US, Zepp Fast 505 is probably the best degreaser on the market, at least that I've tried, I should say. And yes, it is a lot better than Purple Power. I know everybody says, everybody likes Purple Power and all that, but Zepp Fast 505, it kicks Purple Power's ass. I'm gonna tell you that right now. When I did the testing on stripping the Hayaku Shiki 2.0, and also a kind of a secret project that I'm working on, stripping something. I let the part soak in Purple Power for 8 hours. It didn't touch the surfaces, right? I let it soak in the same amount of time in Zepp Fast 505. Clear, gone. It was perfect, right? So yes, Zepp Fast 505, you can get that at Home Depot. It's kind of one of their in-store brands, that they carry. And man, it's just really, 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 really good. Yeah, Soravan over on Twitch, she says, well, Zepp is industrial grade stuff. Purple Power is just power washer concentrate. Big difference. Fair point. Yeah, fair point. But Zepp Fast 505 is also very safe on plastic. Like I said, I've had parts sit in there for 10, 12 hours, zero effects, to the quality of the plastic. So Zep Fast 505, if you have a Home Depot around you, is great. I love that stuff. You can reuse it too. It will start to, degrade in intensity over time, but just based on my trials, you can use it a lot. You can reuse it a lot. So just run it through some coffee filters or something like that. Put it back in the bottle. You're good to go. So yeah, Zep Fast 505 is my degreaser of choice for stripping metallic kind of coated pieces and kits, cleaning resin parts especially. What I will do sometimes with tricky or just stubborn parts of resin, I will actually put a bit of Zep Fast 505 in a little container and actually wet sand with the degreaser. No water. Don't add any water to it. Keep it concentrated. Wet sand with that, and then basically what you're doing is you're smoothing the surface out, and then you're also eliminating the surface contaminants at the same time. So kind of a 2-in-1. But it's obviously it's a little bit more aggressive that way in terms of clearing surface contaminants, because obviously you're taking a layer of resin off too, with sanding and all. But it works wonders. I did that on the Blue Destiny conversion kit, and man, super smooth and just perfect surfaces. No paint peel or chips or anything. So it was really, really good. M. Nielsen, another item we can't get in New Zealand, but check your local hardware stores. Obviously, I don't know what the chains are down in New Zealand or the products, but I'm sure that there is something comparable. Like Soravan said over on Twitch, you want something industrial grade. But obviously you do want to test it before you commit, right? Cool. We get Christian Kovezi over on Facebook. I just saw your comment. I'll get to you in just a second. But awesome. Thank you for the comment. We'll address that here in a minute. Let me finish up what I was saying about resin. But M. Nielsen, yeah. Just search for an alternative and test it out on some scrap pieces first to make sure that it doesn't have any effect on the plastic. But then once you find it, man, stick with that product. There's going to be different concentrations, different formulations all throughout the world. So you may luck out and find something that is very comparable to Zep Fast 505 or Purple Power or what have you in New Zealand. So yeah, take a look for it. So once you have it cleaned, then obviously you wash that off. You got to get that super clean. You got to get all of that degreaser and soap off of the surface of a resin kit. I'll usually throw it into the ultrasonic cleaner and with just straight water and try to get it clean that way, and then obviously another round of just running it under a tap, trying to clear that all off, and then let it air dry for like a day or two. And once that happens, you should have a pristine surface for your resin. So that's how I handle resin. So yeah, if you do that, you should be good to go. So, all right, so let's get back over to Facebook. Christian Kovesi, hello, I'm Cry the Angered on Twitch. It is a sadness that you have reduced the duration of the live. I was glad to follow them. Oh, I didn't know. We're going the same length, man. 2 hours. 2 hours, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So yeah, hit us up, man. Continue to watch. We haven't really gone anywhere. So yeah, we just, the first couple nights I was going super late, at least for me in my area, but now it's kind of more manageable in terms of time. It's like I do it from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. my time, my local time. So it's more manageable for me. But yeah, man, we're Monday, Wednesday, Friday, same times, man. So check us out. So, but hey, thanks for watching, Christian. Appreciate that, buddy. Bailey says the builders groups in that part of the world, such as Gumbo Builders Australia, might know the equivalents. Good suggestion, Bailey. That is an excellent suggestion. Yeah, the guys over there on Gumbo Builders Australia. There's another one, Gundam Australian Builders or something to that effect. Both groups, all a bunch of great guys. And you've got some heavy hitters in the Gundam Builders Australia group. You know, obviously it's run by Ryan San Pedro, the owner of Hobbyco down there. You've got Scott Taylor, Ghost of Xeon, and owner of SMS Paints. You've got Josh Dara, obviously. You've got Lance Guillen. You've got Aaron Simons, just a ton of other people. I'm probably missing a few, and if I did, I apologize. But yeah, man, just a ton of knowledge in that group. So definitely take a look at it, join them up, and interact with those guys. Those are a great bunch of guys. Let's see. Christian Kovesi says at the start was like 2:30, and I was able to watch the end during breakfast. Ah, yeah, man, sorry. So like 2.5, 3 hours. Yeah, you know, 2 hours. We usually go at least 2 hours, sometimes more. Right now, I think we're about 2 hours 10 mark. So yeah. Sometimes we get up to 3 hours. Sometimes. But 2, I think, is manageable for me. I don't want to burn out on this. I don't want to get, you know, tired of streaming. I want to try to keep this consistent as much as possible. So, good call over there. Good call. All right. Nice. Andrew Young says, God, I'm so high off paint fumes. I'm sure he's joking. Andrew knows better. But M. Nielsen says, can you taste the color 9? It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. All right. Back to Tooth Camera. All right. So... let's get back on this waste thing here. Let's finish this up, and let's see. So let's get our vent that we had before, right? And we're gonna pop that right on here. We'll size this up, and yeah, that fits perfectly right there between those panel lines now. So that's exactly what we wanted. 100% perfect. Nice. There's that. That looks good. I like that. Get that zoomed. There she is. Yeah, that looks good. I dig that. Now, we need to glue it on. So, let's get that out of the way. Let's get our good friend, Mr. Tamiya, extra thing going here. Let's put the visor back on because we're going to need eyes to see this stuff here. Okay. Okay. Let's get this positioned properly. Centered up inside that panel. And there we are. A little bit of pressure down from the top. Make sure you got good adhesion. And let's see, I think we're good. All right, so there we go. Let's get a super zoom in on here. Oh, cool. Christian Kovesi over there on Facebook. He still watches them in the past broadcast. Awesome. That's good to know. Thank you for watching, Christian. I appreciate that, man. Looks like Andrew Young is tasting the color 9, so that's interesting. Good stuff there. Oh, Andrew is a funny kid, man. All right. Super zoom time. Let's get this over here. And there we go. And I like that. I like that vent. It looks really quite nice. I dig that. And obviously it fits perfectly within inside of these panel lines that we just scribed here. A little bit of adjustment on the centering, but yeah. I think that's a winner. I like that. It's low profile, but big enough, obviously. So it just it fits well on this particular piece. So I'm happy with that. Nice. Nice. All right, so last thing in the night, I just want to maybe give this a little bit of flair down here. So we're going to pull out, let's pull out something a little bit larger than that. Let's get this one here. Okay. So we're just going to give this, the rest of this box a little bit of flair. Just a little bit of aesthetics. So we're going to peel this piece off right there. We're just going to stick this right at the bottom of that vent. And we're going to add a little bit of pizzazz to this thing. Now, let's try to mock this up. That's going to be too big. Let's see if this works. Nice. That looks parallel. Cool. All right. So now we've got this piece of tape lined up to the bottom of the vent that we just glued on. So now we're going to pull a line across this and make it look really good. Okay. And then what I think I'll do is do kind of like a nice horizontal latch looking notch on this, and I think that will pull this whole look together, and I think it'll look really nice, really mechanical looking too, so that's the intent anyways. So let's finish up this line here. Alright, so we got the line done up here. Now I don't want to put you know, a very wide horizontal latch on this. I just want to put kind of a short one. So we're just going to do something kind of smallish. So it's about 2 or so millimeters from the panel line, the box panel. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side here. Clean the debris out of there. Clean up both of these ends, make them nice and square. Make the bottom of this notch nice and even, nice and smooth. All right. Excuse me. Okay. So that I think looks pretty good. Let's peel this tape back. Let's see what we've got here. Oh yeah. This looks pretty damn nice, if I do say so myself. I'll show you guys here in just a second. Let me clean up this this notch here. Try to get this even and smooth, right? clear out the debris on that. Let's make one last pass at these other panel lines here. And then I think this guy is going to be a done part. Okay. Okay. So let's finish this up. Ow, that hurt. Hit my elbow. All right, let's get super zoomed in on this little guy, and we'll show you what we're working with here. 5x zoom, and let's get this centered on camera. And so there we go. There's that kind of little panel that I did there. Looks pretty good, yeah? Everything's nice and square, mechanical looking. Dig it. I dig it. There's the top. Yeah. Sweet. All right, let's get out of super zoom here. Whoo, boy. All right. And there we go. Sweet. Ugh. Whew. Man, my eyes are hurting a little bit. So let's get caught up with the chat, and then I think we're going to finish this one out for tonight. Let's get the part on here. See what that looks like with the rest of it. Oh yeah, look at that. I think that looks pretty good, right? Let's where are the back skirts here? Just to kind of fill out the look here. Where'd the other one go? Oh, hell. There it is. Okay. So, there's our back now. And obviously we still need to work on the back skirts for this. But, man, I think that middle part there looks really, really quite nice. You know, custom, but still kind of fits into the Jesta feel, I guess, you know? So, really good. So there we go. That's what we got done. Nice. Nice. I like it. I like it. Let's get back to one camera so we can finish this puppy out. Let's see what you guys are talking about here in the chat. Everybody says Andrew Young needs a respirator like Bane. Nice. Oh my. Let's see. Robert LaFlash. I love me some lacquer fumes. Been working with lacquers in my main job for years. Ay, ay, ay. Robert LaFlash also says it does smell good, the thin cement. I spy photo etch in that bin. Yes, yeah. Just the steel sole little sheets. Let me get back. I'll show you. To camera. Just these little guys. I plan on maybe incorporating some of these on the Jesta. There we go. So I really like these, you know, because they're easy to work with, easy to apply, and they come in a different range of sizes and shapes and all that good stuff too. So I like them. I like them a lot. All right. Sorry, wrong one. All right. Let's see. Those sheets are hard to find. Yeah, you know, I got mine off of Taobao. You can get them all on there, really easy. You can also find them on USA Gundam store. They'll have them on there. Probably not all of them, especially not the newest ones. But yeah, some of those you can find on there. You could probably, Bracana could probably get them for you too. Ace Schultz. But he says those sheets are hard to find. Yeah, well, they're a Chinese company from what I understand, made in Japan. I don't know. Like I said, I get mine off of Taobao, and they're really inexpensive over there. So that's where I get mine. Let's see. Ocean Spirit. No, Steel Spirits, Bailey. These are steel. This is called Steel Spirit, this line. So, yeah, so by, what, AW? So, Steel Spirit. GamerBot, I just started using Tamiya Thin Cement the other day. Damn, this stuff is strong. I can only work in burst with it. Yeah, dude, keep the cap on it. Just got to keep the cap on it. Keep it locked down. Not only is it going to reduce the fumes that you're inhaling, it will also reduce the chance of you tipping it over and having a really bad accident with it. So, yeah, just keep the cap on it, dude. Robert LaFlash reminding me of tank pools. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much what these things are just kind of pools and stuff like that. Bailey says, USA Gundam Store has them, Free Time Hobbies. Never heard of Free Time Hobbies, but, you know, if Bailey's suggesting it, that's probably a good one. Let's see. Ace Schultz, can you link me to that site later when you get a chance? I guess he's talking to Bailey, I imagine. Robert LaFlash, I get them from a place in Hong Kong. Okay. Yeah, I mean, probably same thing, you know, Taobao, you know, it's just kind of like your Chinese marketplace, you know. Jason PS3, what glue do you use for photo etch? Just simple super glue. That's all you got to do. My super glue of choice is the Loctite Ultra Liquid Control. You can get this at, you know, hardware stores and stuff like that. I like this the best. There are others out there, a ton of them, but that's just the one I like. So really good stuff. And let's see what else. Robert LaFlash says Musagen Hobby. I guess they carry the Steel Spirit line as well. So Ace Schultz, I think CA is best, like super glue. Yeah, exactly. And the Taobao one, or when I don't know what you're talking about, B. And the Taobao one, I don't know. Sorry, man. There's a bunch of different vendors on Taobao. It's kind of like a Chinese Amazon. It's like a marketplace. You know, third-party sellers and stuff like that. So if you want to get into Taobao, like I said before, check out a site called beheiner.com. It's a Taobao broker for people that obviously don't speak Chinese or, you know, read Chinese or anything. They assist. They assist at every step of the way. They're, like I said, a third-party kind of broker, and man, their customer service is outstanding. I've used them on several different orders, and yeah, I have zero complaints whatsoever. You know, obviously, you know, the fees are involved in you know, a little bit of extra shipping and their processing fees, but totally worth it with the customer service that you get, because they'll be able to ask the vendor questions. They'll be able to verify that they have whatever product that you're looking for in stock before you purchase, and then if there are any order issues after the purchase, they'll help you out with that too. So just, yeah, I can't say enough good things about Beheiner, so look those up. So all right, boys and girls, that does it for tonight. We went 2.5 hours tonight, so got a little amount of work done on this back, and I'm happy with it. So we're going to tie this up. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Donate to the Gumble Talk fundraiser. Win yourself a perfect grade ashtray. Go buy some sweet shirts on the Chata Mecha website, all that good stuff. And then check out the Amazon links on YouTube and Facebook, and then a little bit later on Twitch. Get some tools and books and all that good stuff. So, so we will see you guys back here on Monday, 10 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. We'll go again for another 2 hours and continue working on this thing. So until that time, I wish everybody a happy weekend and have fun modeling. So see you next time, guys.